What's up guys, Nax Tech here, and this is going to be my detailed web comparison between the Google Nexus 7 and the iPad mini. And what I'm going to do here guys is start off with the default browsers on both, so that's Chrome on the Nexus 7 and Safari on the iPad mini. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Dolphin on both to see which is the actual fastest using the exact same browser. So let me start off with the defaults, and I'm going to go ahead and clear the cache and history to make it an absolute fair test. And we'll open Chrome up and do exactly the same thing. Clear browsing data, clear. Okay, and we're all ready to go. So let's open Safari up. And what I'm going to do here now is type in the web address, and I'll come back when it's in both of them. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay guys, and theverge.com is in both the address bars, so I'm going to go ahead and hit go at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go. Pretty accurate, as accurate as I can be. And they're both showing white spaces at the moment. And there you go, the iPad mini is first, followed by the Nexus 7. The iPad mini looks to be completely done. The Nexus 7 is still currently loading, and now it's finished. Actually, it's still spinning up here, and now it's finished. So the iPad mini won that test, and let's just test out the overall responsiveness. Wow, so you can see there, Chrome kind of sucks, especially on this website. It's kind of heavy. It seems like it was still doing some loading in the background, however, because it seems to be a bit smoother than it was originally, but no such lag on the iPad. You can see buttery smooth here, a slight frame stutter there actually, but nice and smooth. Chrome, you can see it's having some hiccups, having to reload. There's some white spaces. I'm not a massive fan of Chrome, but I thought I needed to use the default browsers in the first test. Once it's kind of all loaded and you've used the page for a bit, it looks okay. It's not my favorite, but it's not great and it's not horrible. It's usable, I guess. The iPad mini is fantastic. You can see how smooth it is. Let's check out the pinch to zoom gestures. Very smooth, nice and smooth. You can zoom into where you want. Text clears up very quickly here, guys. Very nice. Let's test it out here. So yeah, it zooms in quite nicely again. I don't know what it's doing there. Not quite as responsive as the iPad mini. If we do this here, you can see the difference. So kind of annoying there, but we'll test another website, guys. So yeah. Okay, guys, and I've got Android Central in both the address bars, so I'm going to go ahead and hit go. 1, 2, 3, go. And it is just appearing slightly ahead on the iPad mini again. And let's see who finishes up first. So the iPad is still going, there is still a spinning light here, and now it's finished, so it's completely done. Google Nexus 7 on Chrome is just finished now, so it's probably about 5 seconds behind. And let's test out the website in general. Nice and smooth on the iPad mini, as we'd expect from any iOS device. And the Nexus 7, you can see it's smoother than the last website I tried, but still not quite this smoothness on the iPad mini, on Chrome anyway. So you can see it is slightly behind the iPad mini in pretty much every aspect in speed and responsiveness. So it's kind of annoying considering it has a quad-core processor. Let's test that pinch to zoom. Pretty nice and responsive on both actually there, I've got to say. But again, the iPad mini is just smoother. It seems like it's 60 frames per second, and you can quickly zoom around your website, you know, and zoom in there, move on, zoom in there. Whereas on the Nexus 7, that feels like it's a bit harder to do. You can see the responsiveness is lower. You have to take a bit more time to do it. So again, kind of annoying. We'll try another website, guys. One more test. Okay, guys, I've got dailymail.com in both the address bars, so we'll do this again. 1, 2, 3, go. I'm being as accurate as I can be, as I don't know how accurate it is. It's actually appeared on the Google Nexus 7 first here. It's having a problem loading that. The iPad is definitely behind, but it has loaded that. And the iPad is completely done, and so is the Nexus 7. That was a lot tighter. I think that it appeared on the Nexus 7 first, but finished on the iPad mini. And we're actually, again, spinning up here. It keeps spinning a little bit and stopping, so there's obviously some code going on. Interestingly enough, we have Chrome does not support the Flash plugin, or does not support this plugin. I'm guessing it's Flash, whereas this one has this little advert here. So that's interesting to note. Very responsive again, beautiful on the iPad mini. Responsive, but you can see just a little just laggy, a little bit laggy sometimes on the Google Nexus 7. If we do these at the same time, you can see the difference. There is definitely a difference in frame rate. It's very smooth on the mini. It is dropping a few frames on the Nexus 7. Pretty good on pinch to zoom there on both, but again, you've got to give it to the iPad mini. So in terms of speed test and general performance, the iPad mini is definitely winning out. So now, guys, what I'm going to do is go ahead and head over to some benchmarking websites. I'm just going to do the HTML5 test for both. So I'll write this in. Here it is, guys, the HTML5 test. So we'll click on this and see how well the browsers support HTML5. 386 for Safari and 390 and 11 bonus points for Chrome. So it actually supports HTML better than Safari does, but look, the difference in the smoothness and performance is very nice. You can see here it didn't reload anything, whereas there it's reloading on Chrome. Again, that could be Chrome. We'll find out soon enough when we check out Dolphin. So I'm just going to do a few more benchmarks, guys. Okay, guys, and we've headed over to SunSpider, which is a JavaScript performance benchmark. So we'll test how well and how fast these browsers can do their JavaScript. And let's start these off. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch through all these, so I am just going to skip to the results. You can see the Nexus 7 is off first. So yeah, see the results, guys. With the results, guys, and funnily enough, the iPad mini finished first, even though we saw that the Google Nexus 7 started quite a bit before. So we'll zoom into the score here, and it scores, lower is better, by the way, in this test, and it scores 1595.1. The Nexus 7 has finished now, and we'll zoom in. And you can see it scores slower, 1669.1. Not a major difference, but the JavaScript performance is better over here on the iPad mini for Safari anyway. I should mention, because it could be different in Dolphin. So there's your SunSpider results. We'll go over to another benchmark now. And here we go, guys. We're at Browser Mark, which is going to again test the browser performance. So we'll just click where we are. We're in Europe, and we'll hit Launch Browser Mark on both. And they are off, guys. And again, with this test, guys, it's quite a long one. So yeah, I will just skip to the results. So see you in a bit. Okay, guys, and you can see the Google Nexus 7 has finished first. It did start about 30 to 40 seconds before the iPad mini one. So let's test out the results. You can see it scores 1563. Your browser is superior to 25% of all tablet browsers. Now, that kind of sucks. I mean, let's see what the iPad mini pulls out. I've got to say, while watching the test, the iPad mini, even though it took longer doing the test and it started a lot slower, the animations and all that kind of stuff was a lot smoother on the iPad mini than it was on Chrome on the Nexus 7. So you can see 1563 here. We are still going. It should finish up any second now. Okay, guys, I've left it for another 2 or 3 minutes and this thing is still spinning. It looks like it should have been done. So we pretty much got a crash over here on Safari on this benchmark, whereas at least the Nexus 7 finished it. Now, I'm pretty certain that this score will probably be better. And in fact, I'll rerun it right now and just skip right to the results. And okay, guys, on the second run of the test, so this has been sitting here for like 10 minutes now, it did in fact finish and it scored 2004. And you can see your browser is superior to 61% of all tablet browsers. So it did perform better than the Nexus 7, even though it crashed the first time. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, that's pretty much the benchmark portion of my test done. In fact, that's pretty much the stock browsers part of my test done. So that's Chrome and Safari, and you can easily say Safari won out completely against Chrome. Chrome needs better software optimization. It's slow, it's clunky, it's just not as good as Safari on iOS. So yeah, let's move on to Dolphin browser. So here we go with Dolphin, guys. I've got Dolphin installed on both. You can see here Dolphin for iPad and Dolphin here as well. So let's load both of these bad boys up. Crash report. We'll go ahead and clear all data over here, and we'll do the same for the Nexus 7. Web content, maybe. Here we go. Clear all cookie data, clear all selected data. And basically we're just going to do the same test now. And so now we're running the same browser on the same device. So now this should be a better test in terms of pure performance. So I'm just going to go to the same websites. And again, I'll skip to when I put both of them in the address bars. Okay, guys, and theverge.com is in both the address bars. We'll hit go at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go. And again, it's appearing on the iPad mini first, and it looks like it's completed over here. And still loading, and completely done over here as well now. So that was probably, what, 5 seconds behind? Let's test the general performance. Again, look at that finger tracking. It's pretty much 1-to-1 over here. It's amazing, really, how smooth it is on the on iOS. Let's check over here. Again, already I can see it's smoother than Chrome was, that's for sure. It still has some hiccups now and then, but no more blocky lagging, no more problems like that. So I definitely suggest not using Chrome. It sucks. It's much closer to the iPad browser than Chrome was. You can see here, still not quite up to the standard of iOS, but it's closer. Let's test out pinch to zoom. As you'd expect on iOS, very, very smooth. Nice bounce back feature there. Test it on here. More responsive again than Chrome. Very responsive actually there. So zoom into a picture over here. You can see it still drops a few frames now and then, which the iPad mini doesn't seem to drop any frames, I guess because it's probably rearranging text. You can see there it rearranged the text as I zoom in. I don't believe the iPad one does that. So that's something to note. You can see there if I zoom in enough, the text reflows to the actual screen size, which is nice. But again, probably takes some of the performance away. But I can already tell a massive difference between Dolphin and Chrome, so I suggest using Dolphin. Let's go to some different websites. Okay, guys, and we've got Android Central in the address bar here. So 1, 2, 3, go. Appearing first on the iPad, followed by the 7. I mean, there's not that much difference between them. They are close. The iPad's completely done. The 7 is still going. And it's done now. So it's probably 2 or 3 seconds behind it. What's interesting, though, is the Nexus 7 has a quad-core processor at higher clocked as well, whereas this only has a dual-core processor. So it's not all about processors, guys. It is mostly about software optimization now. You can see here, nice and smooth on both devices. I'm very impressed with Dolphin on the Nexus 7. It makes things so much closer to the iPad, but it's still not quite that level. If you can see there, it doesn't quite track my finger as well as that does. You can see there's no blank spaces on loading on the Nexus 7. It's a much more enjoyable experience than Chrome gave us. And again, it's nice performance over here. Test out pinch to zoom. A lot more responsive on the iPad, I've got to say. Well, not a lot more. Yeah, a lot more. It is more responsive. You can see it's just less errors, less stuff going on. It drops a few frames here and there, but this is 10 times better than Chrome was. Chrome, if you remember, if you don't go back, it was lagging all over the place on pinch to zoom. This is much more usable. And you can probably even turn off the reflow, but I haven't because it's actually quite nice. And again, the iPad doesn't do that reflow, which would take out some CPU power, because if we zoom into the same story here, you can see that the story has now resized compared to the iPad that has not resized. I can read the whole image, press play on that thing, which I can't do here. You can see that's really nice, but it does take some CPU power and slows it down a little bit. These two are very close now. We're using the same browser. So the last browser test. Okay, guys, I've got Daily Mail in both. Let's go ahead and hit go. See, it's just a hair quicker, the iPad all the time. Let's have a look here. We are finished over here on the iPad, and looks like we're finished over here as well, although it's had some issue rendering that file, or that, that picture there, whatever it is. Again, I'm bored of talking about the performance on the iPad because it never seems to slow down. Pinch to zoom performance, fantastic. Um, Over here, once you touch the screen a bit, it is much, much more responsive than Chrome was. And you can see the pinch to zoom, slight few frame drops sometimes, but a lot better. Again, it's probably due to the reflowing of the text that you get on here that you don't get on the iPad. And that actually does make a big difference, the reflow. You know, it's really nice. But you can see it does make it sometimes a little bit laggy. So yeah, in terms of overall speed and responsiveness, guys, in both Safari and Dolphin, the iPad mini is beating the Google Nexus 7. So take that into account if you're thinking about buying one of these for web browsing. That might interest you. Of course, with this, even though it's Jelly Bean, you can go ahead and install Flash and install a Flash browser and therefore have Flash running. So if you want Flash, you can probably have it on there, whereas you can't really have it on here, but there are some Flash browsers that you can use, but I've never got on with them that well. So now what we're going to do is head over to the benchmark section, HTML5 test. And by the way, I just want to say, I love the fact that Dolphin has this kind of one search bar and address bar for all. I hate that in Safari when you have to use that Google search bar. I always forget and end up typing it in the address bar and it just fails miserably on me. You can see even loads Google a little bit quicker here. Let's load up the HTML5 test. You know, these are both using Dolphin. See a very high score here. See what they both get. So you can see they're slightly using different versions of Dolphin. So but on Android, you can actually use Dolphin's own engine, Jetpack, which is in use, whereas on iOS, you can't. You still have to use a Safari engine and the WebKit one, which kind of sucks. You can see this supports HTML5 a lot better, 100 more points than the Dolphin version over here. So that's interesting. And let's move on to another benchmark. Okay, guys, we've got SunSpider here. This is JavaScript performance. We'll go ahead and hit run at the same time. As always, the Nexus 7 seems to pull ahead and loads the test and starts the test a lot before the iPad mini, even though last time the iPad mini did in fact score higher. So this is happening again even on Dolphin, and I'll skip to the results. Okay, guys, we can see the Google Nexus 7 has finished first with a score of 1361. Again, lower is better, and that is lower than what Chrome got. So the Dolphin browser is better than Chrome in terms of JavaScript on the Nexus 7. So I would suggest getting Dolphin if you have a Nexus 7, because Dolphin is just a lot better than Chrome has been for me. Chrome, I'm not getting on with Chrome on any of my devices except my laptop. Other than that, on mobile devices, it sucks. Sucks hard. iPad mini is still going, taking its sweet ass time. Come on, iPad. Okay, this has got to be slower than the Nexus 7 here, because it is taking sweet ass time. Okay, guys, and it's finally done, and let's zoom in. Wow, I don't know what happened here, but obviously using the WebKit engine really sucks. It scored 5,542.9, which is slow as hell. So the JavaScript performance is a lot better here. Well, I mean, what does that even mean? Who cares? Because the iPad mini has been faster in every single load than the Nexus 7. So that test is a little redundant. Last benchmark we're going to run here, guys. Okay, guys, and we've got BrowserMark running. Well, about to be running. And I'll run them on both. Click them at the same time. We'll see who starts first, and then I'll skip to the results, guys, because this is a pretty long test. Both taking, okay, the Nexus 7 is away as normal. iPad mini still going. So yeah, I'll skip to the end, guys. Okay, guys, and we can see that the iPad mini has finished first, even though it started last, and the score is 1890, and you can see, well, basically it doesn't know what it is. So funny enough, unknown one with unknown browser is superior to 0% of the unknown browsers. So I don't know what's going on there. It's set to like the normal thing, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, that score is lower than we got in Safari. I think we got 2,000 and something in Safari, so that's not that unexpected. Yeah, we're still waiting for the Nexus 7 to finish. Okay, guys, and the Nexus 7 finally finished, and let's check it out. It scored 1707, and your browser is superior to 34% of all tablet browsers. Now, if you remember, that does actually score better than Chrome did in this test. So, yeah, but again, doesn't score as well as Dolphin on the iPad mini. So that's pretty much it, guys. To conclude, I just want to give you my thoughts. Basically, the iPad mini wins in pretty much every speed test, in every benchmark, in everything. It basically won, except in that Sun Spider test where it lost by a mile. I don't know what the hell happened there. Maybe the WebKit browser just sucks for that. I don't know. But it's faster, it's quicker, and it's better in the benchmarks than the Google Nexus 7. If you've got the Nexus 7, I suggest getting Dolphin because it is a load better than Chrome. Chrome sucks so badly. So, yeah, there you go, guys. See you later.